welcome to Sylvan Lake. My name's Alyssa Casey. I'm a Sylvan Lake resident and managing the lake on the Sylvan Lake HOA board. We're here at one of our easements, and we have quite a few of these around the neighborhood that are places where anyone in the lake, any resident who doesn't live on the lake, can come down and access the lake for fishing, swimming, or we have boat storage at some of the easements. So we're going to take a walk down and look at some of what we've been doing with plant life around the lake in the past couple of years. All right, Sylvan Lake is a private lake in Mundelein, Illinois. It's about 34 acres, and we have around 200 homes in the community. This is one of the areas where people can come, residents who live in the neighborhood can come and use fishing pier or put in paddle boats. We're also standing by one of our inlets that leads into the lake. Sylvan is a man-made lake. It was created by a dam about just over 100 years ago. And we're actually in a bit of a unique year for Sylvan this year. In 2024, we had to repair our 100-year-old dam. So we had to lower the lake 6 feet. And the lake is only about 11 to 12 feet at its deepest point. So lowering 6 feet was a big change. And so it was lowered for half of 2024 and then slowly refilling in 2025. So 2026 will be the first full year that the lake is actually at its full height again. So again, in 2024, when the lake was lowered, as you can imagine, that created a lot of stress and a lot of challenges for the lake. We lost some of the plant life, especially in these shallow bays here. We had a lot of whitewater lily pads that were native, and they were actually spreading really aggressively before the lake was lowered, to the point where some people were having trouble getting boats through. So we were working on different management strategies. But when the lake was lowered, we lost a lot of that plant life temporarily. It's slowly coming back. And so one of our focuses this year has been on plant life both along the shoreline and also in the water. So this is at the bottom of quite a steep hill, so we get a fair amount of runoff in the rain and the snow melt. And so we had some neighborhood volunteers that had planted some native plants here, done a bit of a buffer strip, but it was hard to keep up over the years. So we worked with the contractor last year to put in a larger buffer strip and also regrade the slope so it wasn't quite as steep going into the lake, because we're having problems getting anything to sort of stay rooted in the very steep slope that was here before. So it was regraded a bit and planted with a lot of great natives. We're also this year focusing some on aquatic plants in the lake as well. In another bay, we were lucky enough to have the Lake County Health Department do a plant survey for us last year, and we thought we really only had the lily pads as our native plants, but they did find a couple other native plants that were just in very small sections of the lake. In consultation with them, we learned that might be because of either our carp population or the wind and water action just disturbing the plants just enough that they couldn't get well rooted. So we just have a very low cost, low effort option so far that we're starting with, which is just fencing in some of those native aquatic plants that are here in the lake to help them get better established. So that's in one of the bays over there, and we also might add some in one of the bays near the inlets this year. So we've been working on that and hoping that will help diversify some of the plant life in the lake, which will also hopefully help with algae blooms. We struggled with algae blooms last year as the lake was slowly refilling. As you can imagine, it was a lot of stagnant water. We had a hot, dry summer, unfortunately, which did not help the lake refill or help the water move. So we did struggle last year with algae blooms. The hot, dry summer combined with losing a lot of the aquatic plant life made it a challenging summer, but we're hoping this year with more plant life along the shoreline and then slowly more plant life coming back in the lake, that we'll see a better summer, a better recreation season as well. It's a non-motorized lake, just paddle boats. So we have some small paddle boats. We have people with paddle pontoons, kayaks, a lot of paddle boards. We have a couple sailboats, which are always beautiful to see. And a lot of swimming. We have a swimming beach, and then a lot of people who just swim all over the lake. And we have active fishing as well. A lot of folks that fish from piers or from their boats. So it's in the summer. It's busy when it's not when it's not raining. Yeah. All right. As I mentioned, this is the first year that Sylvan is part of the Lake Lovers monitoring program, and we're excited to be able to monitor in 3 different locations. We're monitoring at the deepest point in the lake, and then also we have 2 main inlets coming into the lake. So you can see in the background the yellow buoy is one of our monitoring locations, as one of the main inlets is right behind us over here. So we're looking forward to using that data and seeing if phosphorus or other nutrients or other factors in the lake differ a lot between the 2 inlets. Something we've been working on the past few years, but we've kind of discovered that having a healthy lake and a healthy ecosystem and having a lake that people can use are not mutually exclusive goals. We just need to manage the plant life. So the more we kind of get the community involved in taking care of the lake, and the more we all learn from each other about how everyone uses the lake and about what plants and animals are beneficial for the lake, the more we've all kind of been working together to come up with strategies to manage the plant life, manage some of the animal life, which is native and beneficial, but also like the beavers can be disruptive to some of the trees on people's properties. So we have a lot of people wrapping their trees now, and just have gotten a lot of simple strategies that we realize can really help everyone live together in harmony at the lake.